How's everybody doing? This is your old pal Mondo Man, and hey, listen, we're doing well, we got a fuel leak on a 2011 Silverado Duramax. The leak is coming from the bottom, right where the bottom of the bell housing. Now, if you look up the TSBs, you'll find out that this thing has a fuel leak, and it's usually these lines right here. The troubleshooting bulletin tells you it. It gives you the part numbers and everything. It's usually these lines right here that come back to the pump. The problem is that it's not just that. Now, once you get in here, you'll see that the pump is also leaking as well. So you end up having to do the pump and the lines. According to the TSB, these lines, with the vibrations, get loose and they start spraying fluid, diesel fluid. And you start getting in the valley here, it'll all fill up with diesel fuel. That's one of the clues. And it goes down this way towards the back, runs down and into the bottom of the bell housing. And you'll see the leak there. But the leak is actually way up here. Now, here's the bad part. There's a few generations of these Duramaxes, and they're pretty reasonable vehicles for the most part, okay? But this generation here, you cannot get that turbo out unless you pull the transmission out. I know that sounds like it's not a big deal. It's a big deal. All right, let me show you everything that has to come out. Okay? All this stuff has to come out. The exhaust, the torsion bars. Of course, the starter comes out first because the torque converter bolts are from behind the starter. And there's the transmission. And of course, I took it out in one piece. It's, no, you gotta know what the hell you're doing if you're gonna do that. It's kind of hairy. If you separate them, then you have more synchronizing and programming to do. If you can take it out in one piece, it's going to save you one less step. But nonetheless, this is a 40-hour job. Okay, this is a 40-hour job. It's going to take you all week to get this thing back together. And you don't know exactly what's leaking until you remove the diesel turbo. Get this guy out of here, get the covers out, and you can go in here, you can see. I already cleaned up, so you can see I cleaned up, but you got to come in here and see where it's coming from. And there's other lines too, so you need to be real careful, make sure that you diagnose this properly and you take care of the leaks, and if it needs a pump, you better do it now. I always tell people that if you can't afford to fix anything that comes up with these diesels, then don't buy one, because you cannot reuse some of these things that come off. The turbo on this thing, it's already hitting the housing, the impeller's all worn out, it's leaking oil like crazy. This customer jumped up and down and wanted us to reuse it. I said, if we reuse it, we're going to pull the transmission and everything out again real soon, and you're going to pay for it. So he changed his mind, talked to his mom, whatever he had to do, he got some money, and now we got a new turbo to go with it. But these guys are crafty in the sense that, well, smart too. The issues that do come up, Duramaxes are pretty reliable, but when something comes up like this 14-year-old car, it ain't going to be just the lines. When you start taking things apart, a lot of these things are done. So you're looking at a giant bill. You're looking at least 35 hours labor, especially on this guy. The other generation vehicles, you can pull the turbo without pulling the transmission, but for some reason, this one's not like that. The bolts face that way, and you cannot get to them unless you pull out the transmission. You don't believe me? Try it. You'll question your life choices after this one. Let me tell you, not an easy job. A lot of work to do, a lot of parts involved, everything's expensive, and you cannot put back worn parts. You need to replace them, or otherwise this car will never leave you alone. But anyways, no, good luck. It's not a hard job. It's just very, very tedious. A lot of little things you got to do, a lot of big things that got to get replaced. And if you want these things to be reliable, this is how it starts, by replacing the things that it needs. So if you're going to be doing these kind of things, you better have a heart-to-heart with your customer. Let them know that once you get in there, there's going to be other things you're going to need. So you better get a loan approval. You better go talk to your rich grandma. You better go do what you got to do, because otherwise, we can't put these things back in. We're not going to tear this apart again for free. It's just not realistic. So if you like these big diesels, you like these big old trucks, these $80,000, $100,000 pickup trucks, fine. Make sure you have the money to fix them, because when they go out, it gets really, really expensive. So to all you mechanics out there doing this stuff, I feel for you. But anyways, good luck, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Armando out.